West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin announced last week he will not seek re-election to the United States Senate next year. This week, he told Kristen Welker he's thinking about running for president instead. If Manchin gets in the race, he will join a group of candidates already raising concerns in the campaigns of President Biden and former President Trump, should he win the Republican nomination. Among them, an heir to the Kennedy political dynasty, who has risen on a tide of populism and conspiracy theories. NBC's Vaughn Hillyard has our Sunday focus.
With the 2024 election less than a year away, early polling is already pointing to a Joe Biden-Donald Trump rematch. But this time around, they may not be alone on the ballot.
Are you considering running for president?
I will do anything I can to help my country.
Is that a yes?
And you're saying, does that mean you would consider it? Absolutely.
If West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin jumps into the race as a third-party candidate, he'll join a crowded field.
Please come join us.
Like progressive activist Cornel West, a close ally of Bernie Sanders, and former Democrat Robert F. Kennedy Jr., all looking to disrupt the traditional two-horse election race.
My intention is to spoil it for both of them.
Only around a third of the general electorate says they are enthusiastic about a Biden or Trump run. And a national Quinnipiac University poll this month showed RFK Jr. polling at 22% in a three-way matchup against the two frontrunners.
There could not be a more ripe year for an independent candidate to take away enough votes to tip the election to a major party candidate who otherwise might not have won.
Democrats especially fear a repeat of 2016, when Hillary Clinton narrowly lost several key states. A significant number of voters instead choosing third-party options. Among them, Green Party candidate Jill Stein, who just announced she's running again.
The ruling parties that got us into this mess aren't getting us out.
But the third-party spoiler has long played a role in American politics.
Thank you.
In 2000, Ralph Nader won just 3% of the national popular vote.
Popular vote now, Tim. Take a look at this.
But many Democratic operatives blamed him for siphoning voters from Democratic candidate Al Gore.
There will be a lot of finger-pointing about the poor showing of Gore.
In 1992, independent Ross Perot captured significant support, winning 19% of the vote.
I don't have any spin doctors. I don't have any speech writers.
And in 1968, third-party candidate George Wallace even won several states in the Deep South.
People now realize how often in history an independent candidate has elected someone else as president, that there are now efforts to game the system.
Polling suggests the country has not been this interested in third-party candidates since the 1990s, with the political group No Labels already raising more than $70 million on a potential third-party ticket.
Why not give people a choice if they don't want these two choices?
But for all the concerns from both parties around third-party gamemanship, history suggests their impact is tough to predict.
There is no way to know whether an independent candidate will help one major candidate or the other. The ball has bounced in all sorts of directions, and there could be a very big surprise.
And Vaughn joins me now live. Vaughn, good morning. I spoke this week with a veteran presidential campaign advisor who said the impact of third-party candidates, just what you're talking about here, is what keeps him up at night. So how concerned are both the Biden and Trump campaigns about it?
Right. Very concerned, Willie. When Jim Messina, Barack Obama's former campaign manager, was talking to you this week, he said specifically that if Joe Manchin runs, Biden could lose. He emphasized that he wasn't so much worried about Biden as a candidate as much as he is about a well-known third-party challenger shedding votes from him. And the Trump camp has their own worries. Let's be clear. Donald Trump Jr. has accused RFK Jr. of being a, quote, Democrat plant to hurt his father's campaign, as the former president's team ramps up attacks on RFK Jr. Trump and Biden were separated by only thousands of votes in several key states in 2020. Their teams know well the impact just one of these third-party tickets could have on the whole race. Willie?
Buckle up. It's a wild year ahead. Vaughn, thanks so much. So interesting. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.